Chapter 14, Structuring Database for Accounting. In the earlier chapter, you have already learned that accounting of transaction are documented with voucher. Let us consider a few accounting transactions to understand as how these vouchers are used. On April 1st, 2005, Shirpa Computers commences business with initial capital of rupees 5 lakh which is deposited into bank. So here recall the journal entry that is recorded using manual accounting system. So when coming to the entry which was recorded in the manual accounting system, that was in the journal account, where the entry will be bank account debtor to capital account. So where 5 lakh will be deposited into the bank which is towards the capital. So the entry was bank account debtor 5 lakh debit column, then again to capital account 5 lakh in the credit column. This journal entry has data content that are filled up using a simple transaction voucher which is prepared by Smith and authorized by Aditya. So now let us see how the voucher was prepared for this simple transaction, and we have considered that it is authorized by Aditya and prepared by Smith. So when coming to the simple voucher here, it will be in this form where first we are going to write the Shripa Computers, then transaction voucher, then we are going to prepare it as voucher number and will be having date and then debit account and credit account. So where bank was debited and will be having a code for debit account and a code for credit account. So debit account we have bank account, then credit account we have capital account. And amount in rupees was 5 lakh. Then we are going to write the narration. Commenced business by depositing initial capital into bank. And at the end we are going to show that authorized by Aditya and it was prepared by Smith. The same transaction can also be documented using a credit voucher that is capable of recording multiple credit against one debit. So let us see how we are going to prepare the credit voucher, where the voucher will be considered as credit voucher, then we will be having voucher number, then again date, then we will be having debit account along with the code and which is bank account. Then we have Shripa Computers, then again we will be having credit account, details will be recorded here, where we will be having serial number, code, name of account, amount and then narration. So when coming to the serial number, it will be 1, then we are going to consider the code. Let us consider the code as 110001. Then the name of the account was capital account and in the amount it will be 5 lakh and the narration commenced business. Then we are going to show total amount which is 5 lakh, then again authorized by Aditya and prepared by Smith. Now let us consider the following transaction. On April 3rd, 2005, Shripa Computers brought goods costing rupees 50,000 from RS and Sons, paying rupees 2,000 as cartage to Sina Transport. This transaction involves multiple debit of accounts with one account being credited. The debit voucher that is used to document this transaction appears as displayed here. So when coming to the debit voucher, it will be considered as debit voucher, then we will be having voucher number, date and then we are going to show credit account along with the code. Let us consider the code as 642001, then bank account, then Shripa Computers and debit account details. So again coming to debit account, we are going to record the serial number, code, name of account and amount, then narration. So let us take in the serial number 1 and we are going to write the code for purchases, then amount 50,000, then narration, purchase from RS and Sons. The next thing we are going to record is serial number 2, then we are going to write the code, then with that carriage in words 2000, then narration paid to Sina Transports, then we are going to show the total amount which is 52,000, then authorized by Aditya and prepared by Smith. The process of computerized accounting involves identifying, storing and retrieving the data content of an accounting transaction. This requires a mechanism to store such data content of vouchers in a manner that allows it easy and convenient retrieval as and when required. This is achieved by designing suitable database for accounting. Such database consist interrelated data tables that are structured in a manner that ensures data consistency and integrity. Data processing cycle. In order to understand dynamics of database design, let us understand the data processing cycle in the context of accounting. Data processing involves the technique of collecting, storing, relating, interpreting and computing data items in such a manner as to provide meaningful and useful information for decision making. The necessary steps involved in data processing cycle are data capturing, inputting, processing and generating information available to the user. The data processing cycle, when thought of in the context of accounting, requires a series of steps that have been described here briefly. The first one was source documents. The first step is to capture accounting data from transaction so as to prepare a document called voucher, as already stated earlier, that expresses and documents an accounting transaction. The relevant accounting data is set out in the voucher, the sample of which is shown in the previous example, where we have considered the business commenced with cash which was deposited into the bank, which is 5 lakh. So these documents are so designed as to permit the recording of accounting data in a systematic manner. The next thing we have is input of data. The accounting data contained in voucher is to be entered in a computer's storage device. This is achieved by using pre-designed data entry form. This data entry form is designed in a manner that it is simpler to physical voucher document. The data entry form is designed using software and it is made to appear on the computer monitor so that the data is entered. Then we have data storage. A suitable data storage structure is required to provide for a blank data record as shown here. So we will be having code and then we will be having name and we will be having type. The above blank record that is used for storing the input of data pertaining code of account, name of account and the category type to which it is belong. So let us have an example here where we will be recording capital account as well as the purchase account from the previous example which is discussed. So when coming to the blank record here, it will be code, then we will be having name and then we will be having type. So let us record the code which was considered in the example, which was 11001 and the name of the account was capital account and the type will be 4. Then we have code for the purchases there, which was 711001, then the name of the account will be purchases account and the type 1. Then hypothetically the category type 4 above refers to liabilities and the category type 1 indicates expenses. The data storage structure, also called data tables, are created as a part of structuring database for accounting. Then the next we have is manipulation of data. The stored data is manipulated for necessary transformation to generate final reports. Such transformed data may be stored separately and subsequently using for generating final reports. Alternatively, the transformed data can be directly presented in the form of a report. Then we have output of data. The accounting reports such as ledger, trial balance, etc. are obtained in pre-designed format by assessing the transformed data. Now that you have understood the way data content is stored in a structured manner, we shall discuss how the data structures are designed in consonance with the data content that emerges from accounting transaction. Then we have designing database for accounting. both computerized and computer-based accounting information system required a definite data structure for storing the accounting data. As already mentioned, the database are used for storing accounting data. The process of designing data for accounting begins with a reality or accounting reality that is expressed using elements of a conceptual data model. The process of designing a database for accounting is best described through a flow chart. Then we have reality. It refers to some aspect of real world situation from which database is to be designed. In the context of accounting, it is accounting reality that is to be expressed with complete description. Next thing we have is ER design, where ER stands for entity relationship. So when coming to the entity relationship design, this is a formal blueprint with a pictorial presentation in which entity relationship model concepts are used to represent description of reality. Relational data model. So when coming to the relational data model, it is a representational data model through which ER design is transferred into interrelated data tables along with the restriction in the form of rules that are specified to ensure the consistency and integrity of stored data. Now let us have a look on the flow chart how it will be appeared. So where we will be having reality, then it will be connected for ER design, then we will be having relational data model, and they will be having normalization, then we will be having refinement, then need to refine. If it is yes, again it will be going back to the relational data model. If no, the final answer will be generated. Then we have the normalization. This is the process of refining a database design through which the possibility of duplicate or redundant data items is reduced or eliminated. Refinement. This is the outcome of the process of normalization as mentioned above. The final database design is arrived at after the process of normalization is completed. Then we have entity relationship model, which is also known as ER model. It is a popular conceptual data model which is mostly used in database oriented applications. The major elements of ER model are entities, attributes, identifiers and relationships that are used to express a reality for which a database is to be designed. The model is best depicted with the help of ER symbols, the list while preparing in ER diagram. The following symbols are used to represent different types of entities, attributes, identifiers and relationships. The elements of ER model that are meant to describe and display the reality are discussed in the context of an accounting reality given here. So we will be discussing the symbols which we will be using in the flow chart. So let us take meaning, and in the other side we will be having the symbol. So when coming to the symbol here, which is same as the rectangular box, where the meaning will be entity, type as rectangular box. Then we have the weak entity. For weak entity we are going to use two rectangular boxes. So where it will be typed as double lined rectangular box. Then we have relationship. For relationship we are going to use a box which is same as the diamond box. So where the meaning will be relationship, type as diamond shaped box, where the shape of the symbol will be as diamond. For attributes we are going to use it as ovals. So when coming to the attributes, it will be enclosed in ovals and attached to their entity types as straight line. So then we have key attributes. So names enclosed in ovals and attached to their entity type by straight line. Then we have multi-valued attributes by double ovals. Then we have derived attributes by dashed line ovals. Then the total participation of E2 in R. So where it will be presented as shown here. Then we have cardinality ratio, which is 1:n for E1:E2 in R. So it will be displayed as shown here.